Now often there will be times where you want to sort a list of numbers in either ascending order, so from lowest to highest, or descending order, so from highest to lowest. There will also be times when you want string items to be sorted alphabetically, which is also termed ascending order, or from Z to A, so descending order. In fact, it's worth knowing that there are performance benefits in some cases when items are sorted, because it becomes easier for the system to search for an item. Now we can sort a list by using the sort method. So let's dive straight into an example. So firstly, I'm going to take the shopping_list variable we created earlier, so a list of strings. To sort this list, we first need to specify the object we are working with. So in this case, it's shopping_list, which we know is a list object. We can then put a dot, which will allow us to start using the functionality for lists. Now, as mentioned briefly earlier, Jupyter notebooks have great help documentation, which allows us to explore different object functionality. So if I press the Tab key on the keyboard, we are presented with the methods that we can call. So we have append, extend, insert, we have remove, and at the very bottom you'll notice we have something called sort. If I select sort, this means I'm specifying the list object contained in variable shopping_list, and I'm now looking to perform a sort operation. As is the case with all methods, we then need to provide the method a set of parentheses. Okay, so without doing anything else, let's run the code to see what happens. Okay, so nothing returned. So where is our sorted list? Well, what has happened is our original list, which is stored in shopping_list, has been sorted. So if I take a look at the shopping_list variable now, you can see the elements are ordered in alphabetical order. Now let's just take a brief moment to understand why it's doing this. Now there is a useful trick to seeing documentation for each method. So if I go inside the parentheses and press Shift and then press the Tab key, up pops some documentation. Now if I press Shift and then press the Tab key twice, the documentation expands to give us more information. So if we read the first part, we can see that the method will sort the list in ascending order, which is what we've observed. And the sort is what is known as in place. Now in place means that it's performed on the original list object, which is what we also saw. So everything is operating as per expectation. And this is how you can assess how any method will perform. Simply bring up the documentation to read about it, and it may answer the questions you have. Now you will notice here that we have some brackets with some content in them. If you look across to the far right hand side, we have something called reverse, and the default argument is set to false. Now these are known as parameters, and when we use methods, we can pass arguments to these parameters to change the method's settings, so that it operates in the way that we want it to. So the default argument passed into the parameter called reverse is false. So let's now change this to be true in the method's settings. So I will once again specify my list object, so shopping_list, and then place a dot. I will then put sort and open up a set of parentheses. Inside these parentheses, I'm going to type the parameter name that we want to change. So I'll type reverse, and then I will pass the parameter an argument of true, so I can put reverse equals true, which will overwrite the default argument of false. When I now run the code, our list is returned in reverse order from Z to A. Changing the reverse parameter to state false or completely removing it will change the order so it's from A to Z. So hopefully this gives you an idea as to how you can use the documentation to assess different object methods, and we'll be using this technique a lot during the course. Now I mentioned that the sort method does not return any value and therefore does not need to be assigned to a new variable because the original list is modified. If we do assign the result of the method to a variable, it would actually assign a value of none to the variable and not bring anything back. So if we create a variable called sorted_list and set this equal to a call on the sort method as per our example above, when we print out the value stored in sorted_list, we get none returned. So when using the sort method, remember the original list is modified. Now there is a second way of sorting a list in Python, and to do this we can use the built-in function sorted. The sorted function is different from the sort method in two ways. Firstly, it comes before a list instead of after, as all built-in functions do. So we stipulate the built-in function first, just like we've seen with the type built-in function, and then we place an object inside the parentheses. So let's type sorted and open up a set of parentheses. Secondly, it generates a new list rather than modifying the one that already exists. So if we put shopping_list into the parentheses and run the code, we get a list returned, and if we assign this to a new variable called sorted_shopping_list, we can see that when we print sorted_shopping_list, we get a list object returned, and we can now use this new variable in other places in our code. Finally, built-in functions also have parameters. So if we go into the sorted built-in function, which we are assigning to sorted_shopping_list, and put in a second parameter called reverse, and set this equal to true, we will get the sorted_shopping_list variable sorted from Z to A. So note here we have called the built-in function sorted, and inside the parentheses we have first provided an iterable, in our case the list object called shopping_list, and then we are passing in a second parameter called reverse with the argument set to true. When we now take a look at what is stored in the sorted_shopping_list variable, we get the shopping list in reverse order. And remember, because this is generating a new list object, it is not changing the original list object like we saw with the sort method. So if we see what's stored in shopping_list, we get the items in alphabetical order despite using it in the sorted built-in function, which we've seen is in descending order. So this covers sorting lists. Remember, the sort method will change the original list. If you don't want to change the original list, you can use the built-in sorted method and assign the new ordered list to a new variable. You can also use parameters to have the order in ascending, i.e. reverse equals false, or descending order, where you would set the reverse parameter to be true. Also, a quick time-saving tip for you: if you ever start typing an object which exists in memory, you can press Tab and Jupyter Notebook will either bring up a list of possible objects you are searching for, or it will auto-complete. So here, if I start typing sorted_ and then press Tab, you can see it gives us two options. But if I then type the letter S and then press Tab, the object name is auto-completed, because there is only one possible option. And this saves us time in having to write out long variable names over and over again.